Okay, can carry on with it.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, guys. This is Vandana from the management team. Is my voice is audible? Guys, please let me know is my voice is audible or not. Today, I'm here to announce the requirements, guys. Before that, I need a feedback from your side. I've shared you the feedback link in the broadcast. Hope everyone received. You need to fill that form, guys. It's hardly take 3 to 4 minutes to fill that form. Once you done, let me know. We'll go for the requirements. And guys, remember your feedback is more precious to us, so please don't neglect it. Everyone has to fill the form. I'll be waiting for your responses. Once you done, we'll move for the requirements. Okay, start filling the form, guys.
Vandana, is the requirement announcement done?
Ma, I give the feedback, ma'am. They are doing
Okay.
filling the form, ma'am.
Okay, Vandana. Yesterday they
Okay.
didn't fill.
No, ma'am. Yesterday I have not shared, ma'am.
Oh, for
Today we
different
are
batch.
collecting,
Okay,
ma'am.
Vandana. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Vandana, how many responses you got? How many responses you got?
Ma'am, only 6 responses, ma'am. Out
Okay, okay,
I've
okay,
received
Vandana.
only 6
Guys,
responses.
be quick. We want to start the class, right? So be quick, quickly
Guys, please
fill the.
make it fast.
Yeah, yeah. Do fill it fastly.
Out of 29 candidates, I've received only 10 responses, guys. Please make it fast. I don't want to waste your class time. Others, those who are doing filling the form, please make it fast, guys. Those are completed, okay. Those are filling, make it fast. Guys, out of 30 candidates, I've received only 11 responses, guys. Please make it fast, guys. I don't want to waste your class time. Those are filling, please make it fast, guys.
Vandana, they will fill later in case if they are filling. Okay. So by the time, I mean, by the end of the class, everyone do fill it, and we shall resume with the class.
Ma'am, 2 minutes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
2 minutes, ma'am. 2 minutes. Okay, guys, I don't want to waste your class time. So far, I've received only 14 responses out of 28 candidates. Oh, I'll be moving for the requirements. I'll be sharing the screen. This is testing requirement. Please take the snap of this slide. Once the class 10 go through with the requirements thoroughly, if you're eligible for any of these requirements, within 1 hour, you have to share the details to the HR team. Your name, contact number, company code. They will revert back and help you for the registration, guys. And for the first designation, only male candidates are required, and all the requirements is offline interview. There is no online interviews. And guys, please be ready for the offline interviews, guys. Every time don't expect for the online interviews, because most of the clients are looking for the online face to face interview only, and offline interviews only will be moving for further process. And you will get a quick response from the client also for the offline interviews. I'll be moving to the next slide. This is a generic requirement. Please take the snap of this slide. Based on your degree, you can apply for these requirements. So guys, if you are eligible for this requirement, please drop a message in HR tab at your name, company code, and contact number. Done, guys. I'll be moving to the next slide. This is development requirement. Please take the snap of this slide. For this requirement, 9th September will be a interview date. So guys, any queries is there? Please respond yes or no. I'll be stop sharing the screen, guys. If you have any queries, please let me know. No queries. Okay, guys, that's it from my end for the today's class. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Good evening, everyone. Um, Guys, I have given you a homework. Have you guys done? You guys have done the homework, everyone? Okay. Okay. How many of you have not done? Any doubts you have there in the design? Understood. Okay. Then, okay. Any doubts? No. Okay, guys. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, fine. So, yesterday we have started with the. Yes, okay, okay, guys. So yesterday we have started with the concept called as relationship, right? So we have studied what is relationship, and no Sanket, today already half an hour over, so I'll not be able to do it. We can't finish portions. So it's the same program, right? So you can do it. So can I get yesterday's class back up? Why Himanshu? What happened? What happened yesterday? You didn't attend? Why you were absent yesterday? Okay, how many of you were absent yesterday? We have finished encapsulation yesterday. So how many of you were absent? Ah, okay, Sanket. Okay. Yes, guys, yesterday, who and all were absent, let me know. Okay, Pooja, today you do it. Okay, we'll see if time permits. I'll give you backup today itself. Alright, so we'll go for tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow one timing we'll have, and we'll surely have a backup in that. Okay, guys, so we shall resume back with our um relationship. Okay, so we have seen two types of relationship, right? We have seen two types of relationship. First one is first one is has a first one is has a relationship, and second one is a relationship. First one is has a second one is a. So has a relationship means what? One object dependent on another object is called as has a relationship, and how much it is dependent we don't know. To understand that we have two types. That is aggregation and aggregation and composition. Composition. So aggregation means two objects are dependent on each other. Two objects are dependent on each other. Okay, there is a dependency between two objects, but they can live without each other. Okay, composition means two objects are there. Okay, there is a dependency between each other. Okay, but they can't live without each other. They can't live without each other. Here they can live without each other. Here they can't live without each other. Aggregation is denoted by empty diamond, and composition is denoted by the filled diamond. Composition is denoted by filled diamond. Filled diamond. Okay. So this was, I mean, after encapsulation, this is what we have studied in yesterday's class. Okay. And here, so let us understand how to achieve has a relationship. Okay. So very simple. So suppose if you take a car and engine. Okay. Yesterday we have seen car and engine. Okay. Now both are dependent on each other, and they can't live without each other, right? And here, now suppose if you take a car, I mean here, if you take an engine, okay, engine is inside the car is outside, but first of all engine is dependent on car. So we can first create a class engine. So we have to first create class engine. Okay. So let us create class engine, and after that you can add whatever attributes you want. Okay, whatever the attributes you want, you can add it. Okay. So after that here we have to create a class. Guys, it's 1 second. Excuse me, guys. There is a background noise. Excuse me. Okay. So, car and engine are dependent on each other. So, first of all, dependent is engine. Engine is dependent on car. So, first you have to create a one class for engine. Then here we have to create a class for car. And how do you achieve has a relationship is engine object. Engine we have to mention inside car class. Engine we have to mention inside car. So, engine E engine okay, you have to mention engine here. Okay, so here by mentioning the dependent object, that is engine inside the car, here we have achieved has a relationship. We have achieved has a relationship. We have achieved has a relationship. How we have achieved has a relationship? By mentioning the dependent object inside another class. By just the data type and the variable, you have achieved a has a relationship. You have achieved a has a relationship. Okay. Now how to initialize this variable? This object variable engine variable E. Okay. Now how to initialize this variable? How to initialize this variable? Very simple. Okay, very simple. So to initialize we have two types. Okay, to initialize this variable we have two types, that is early instantiation early instantiation and late or lazy instantiation. We have two types to initialize the dependent object. We have two types of initializing a dependent object. First one is early instantiation, second one is later lazy instantiation. First one is early, second one is later lazy instantiation. Okay, then here now, so now let us see how can we achieve early instantiation, how can we achieve late instantiation using our code. Okay, using our code. Not understood. You will understand now. With the code, if you do, surely you understand. Okay, so now let us go for the code here. Let us go for your class E23, and in E23 we have no relationship. So let us create a package, that is relationship relationship. Okay, now let us create a class. Now class name is, first we'll go for engine. Okay, let us go for the class engine. Okay, now in the class engine we can have the attributes. Engine we can go for int cc and int rpm, rotations per minute, and int hrp, horsepower, and int okay, we can go for a brand of engine. Go for string brand of engine and int. Okay, cc, rpm, hrp, we will take any one. um Rotations per minute. Okay, cc. Okay, rpm and horse. Okay, we'll remove one at least. So here we have in cc hrp, horsepower, brand of the engine, and int number of cylinders for the engine. Number of cylinders. Okay, next we shall create a constructor for the engine. So how can we create a constructor? Engine, and we can go for all the attributes in cc, comma, int hrp, comma, string brand, comma, int number of cylinders. Int number of cylinders. Then here we have to initialize everything. This dot cc is equal to cc. Next, this dot hrp is equal to hrp. Okay, then this dot brand is equal to brand. Okay, next, this dot number of cylinders this dot number of cylinders is equal to number of cylinders. So this is how we create a constructor for the class engine. Next, we will go for the engine details method. Public void engine details method. Engine details method. So we shall go for printing all the details of the engine. So we'll go for CC, HRP, and we'll also go for brand, and we'll also go for this number of cylinders, and this is how you create a class engine. This is how you create a class engine. Okay, so in the class engine we have the attribute CC, HRP, brand, number of cylinders, and in the engine constructor we do have initialized the attribute attributes we have initialized. So after this we can go for engine details method, wherein we are printing all the details of engine. So we can go for elaboration or customization, we can go for here. So CC you can go for, can tell, so CC we can take as mechanical students. Can you tell me what is CC? I just forgot. No, meaning of CC. 1000. I know it's 1500 cubic centimeter. Yeah, but in the okay, cubic capacity. Yeah, okay. So let us take it as a cubic capacity. Okay, I'll mention here cubic capacity. Okay. So cubic capacity we will take. Okay, we'll take a cubic capacity of an engine. We can go for it in a string here, cubic capacity, and we'll go for horsepower, HRP, and engine brand. We can go for just brand. Okay, we can go for brand here, and here number of cylinders. Number of cylinders. And I think as the number of cylinders increase, the speed of the engine increase, right? So the capacity and the speed of the engine increases as the number of cylinders also increased. Okay. So here we have here we have engine class, and here here we have here we have engine details, engine constructor, and the details of the engine. Done. Now let us create a class, that is a car class car. Now see, engine is dependent on car. See, car is also dependent on engine, but telling without engine, I mean, if you want to have a car, obviously engine should be there. So engine by default is dependent on car, and obviously car is also dependent on engine. So, but we can have engine dependent on car here. Okay, engine is always dependent on car. Okay, our car also is dependent on engine. So both also we can take, since they are both dependent on each other. Both also we can take, but we have taken one. So currently engine is dependent on car. Engine is dependent on car, and here. Now how do you? Okay, so let us go for the attributes of the car here. So we'll go for string brand of the car. Next, um, double price of the car, and we shall go for string color of the car. We can go for string model of the car, and brand, price, color, model. Enough. Now since, see, as soon as we see a car, okay, we like it because of its features, but still engine is dependent on car. Okay, so for an engine to work, obviously we need a car, so engine is dependent on car. You can make it as a cycle inside, and you can pedal it, but you need an engine for the car, and car surely it needs engine. Okay, so currently we have these attributes: brand, price, color, and model. Now what we have to do to achieve a hazard relationship between this engine and car is, between this engine and car class, we have to achieve a hazard relationship. So we can mention the engine object, engine e here, engine e engine e here we can mention. Okay, we can mention engine here. Okay, so after that, now we'll go for constructor creation of car, and you have to know that here engine e. Now we have achieved a has a relationship. Okay, so we have achieved has a relationship by mentioning a dependent object inside another class. By mentioning a dependent object inside another class, we have achieved has a relationship. Now, okay, we have this variable. Okay, fine. Now, how to initialize this variable, we'll also see that. And now let us also create a constructor for the car. Okay, and I told you, this dependent variable, okay, the engine e variable, you can initialize in two ways. So there is a two ways here. Okay, last system to be there, you typed wrong. Okay, no problem. You'll get it in a red line, that's it. Red line will get, that's it, no problem. It will not harm our output. Okay, so here we have our car, and here we have an engine dependent on car, and engine is presented, okay, with a data type and a variable inside our car class. Okay, and this behavior is called as a hazard relationship, and this is how we can achieve a hazard relationship. Okay, we have achieved hazard relationship. We can easily create a car object, but how can we initialize this engine? How can we initialize this engine object? Very simple. There are two ways of initializing this dependent object. There are there are two ways of initializing this dependent object. So first way is that is our early instantiation. Early instantiation. Early instantiation means when you are creating an object for a car. When you are creating an object for a car, engine object also gets created by default. When you are creating an object for car, engine object also gets created by default. This is how So we have a class car, and now we shall create a constructor for this. So how can we create a constructor for a car? Very simple. Car, car. We can go for string, brand, comma, double, Guys, am I audible to you all? I was asking something, none of you have replied, so I've just refreshed the screen. Okay, no only. What time I was not audible to you? What time till what time I was not audible? Last 10 minutes, huh? Last 15 minutes, screen is off, huh? Really? You have not seen how to create a offline, huh? Oh God. I have explained you almost composition is done. Almost composition is done. Okay, let it be. Okay, I was actually teaching you here. Voice is breaking and screen also off. Everybody refresh your screens once. Everyone refresh your screen once and join back again. No, Samiksha, I didn't go offline. Maybe network. It has rained heavily here. I don't know. In the evening only it will rain, and when it is your class only, I'll have network issue. Um. Okay. So everyone, is my screen showing? I mean, visible now? Is the screen visible and I'm audible? Okay, guys. Okay, okay. Okay, guys. So yeah, we shall go for again. So where? That is why no, I do like this always, like reducing the screen. Okay, so I think now you'll not have that problem again. Okay. So what we are doing is we are achieving a hazard relationship. So we started with a design. I have already written this. I was writing and I wanted to ask the brand actually. So I mean, brand of the engine. Okay. So engine has CC, horsepower, brand, number of cylinders, and engine details. And car has a brand, price, color, and a model. And here, okay, just a minute. Okay, so here we have a class engine as a car and a car. So engine is dependent on car as the direction here. What is the direction here? Towards the car. So engine is dependent on the car. Engine is dependent on the car here. So here we have engine attributes and a method, car attributes and a method here. And has a relationship. We have to achieve has a relationship between these two now. So how can we achieve this is very simple. By mentioning engine object inside a car class we'll achieve it. Okay, so that is what we have done. Okay, yes, I'm doing the same. Okay, same thing I'm doing. Design is done. Design, if you can easily understand, see here in the design, actually in the design here. So what happened is, so here we have a two classes. We have a two classes here, that is your engine and car. Engine and car. So engine is dependent on car, right? Engine is dependent on car. So the arrow mark is towards the engine. Engine is dependent on car. Engine is dependent on car. Okay. So arrow mark is towards the class engine. Arrow mark is towards the class engine. Arrow mark is towards the class engine. And and engine object you have to mention at the last inside the car. Engine E you have to mention inside the class car. So this is how you achieve a hazard relationship. And since engine and car can't live without each other, so I have taken a filled diamond and the level of dependency is composition. level of dependency is composition. Why? Because engine can't live without car and car can't live without engine. Okay, so this is the design, this is the UML design. Okay, so I hope you guys got it. Next, we have created first dependent class here. So whom we have to create first here? Who have to create? First you have to create engine, then you have to create a car. After that, engine object you have to mention inside a car, okay, in the place of attributes. Okay, so this is how we can go for has a relationship. We have created a class engine with all the attributes and the constructor. Okay, and one more method, that is engine details method. We have taken engine details method also. Next, inside the car class we have taken brand, price, color and model. And we have mentioned engine object inside the car. We have mentioned engine object inside the car. Okay, so this is how we can achieve a hazard relationship. This is how we can achieve a hazard relationship. Okay, how do you achieve hazard relationship? By mentioning the dependent object inside another class. Okay, by mentioning dependent object in another class we can achieve hazard. That is by mentioning the dependent object engine, and depending on, it is dependent on car. Okay, so you have to mention the dependent object inside this class car. Okay, so this is how we achieve hazard relationship. And now, to initialize this variable e, there are two ways. The two ways are early instantiation, early instantiation and late or lazy instantiation. Lazy or late instantiation. These are the two ways: early instantiation and late instantiation. So early instantiation means, okay, you will be mentioning the okay, first we'll let you know what it is. Okay, so early instantiation means, here, if you're creating an object for car, engine object also gets created by default. If you're creating object for car, engine also gets created by default. This is called as early instantiation. Okay, when you're creating an object for the car, dependent class, that is another class, that is car. So here when you're creating an object for car, engine object also gets created by default. Okay, so if you're creating an object for car, an independent class engine also gets created. So this is called as early instantiation. And we have seen early instantiation is step by step we have seen. So how can we achieve early instantiation? Here, listen carefully. So in a constructor, at the end or the starting, you can mention the engine object. Okay, engine e. You can mention engine e here. So after you have mentioned engine e here, now you have to initialize using initializer. Okay, you have to initialize using initializer. Okay, so we can achieve early instantiation with the help of a constructor as well as initializer. We can achieve early instantiation with the help of a constructor and a initializer. Okay, so this is how we achieve a early instantiation. Okay, by mentioning the dependent object, listen carefully, by mentioning the dependent object inside the constructor, and by initializing it we'll be going for early instantiation. This is how we'll be achieving early instantiation. Okay, and now we shall create an object for the car. So when you're creating an object for car, dependent object engine also gets created by default. So I have already created it. You guys were offline, so my this one was offline here. Okay, so cars is equal to new car. I've taken all the details for the car. I've taken. So till here you have taken neatly. But here comes to the last. Here we have an engine E. We had engine E here. So in the place of engine E, we have to create an instance. Here. Okay. So as of now, we have created an instance for the class engine. Okay. That means what? Whenever you are creating a class engine, object for the class car. When you are creating an object for the class car, engine object also gets created by default. Okay. So here, this is how we'll be going for engine object initialization. When you're creating an object for a car, when you're creating an object for a car, here we have given all the details of the car, and at last, since listen carefully, in the car class we have mentioned the engine object, right? We have mentioned engine object in the car class, right? So that engine object we have initialized here. So that engine object is already there. So what you have to do here? We have to go for Okay, we have to go for here mentioning in a constructor. Engine object you have to mention in a constructor, and since you have mentioned in the constructor, at the last we have to create an object for it. Since we have mentioned the dependent object inside the constructor, since we have mentioned the dependent object inside the constructor if you have mentioned, now while creating an instance also, you have to mention an instance for the, you have to get an instance for the dependent object. So here one instance for the dependent object will be created. Okay, this is how you achieve a early instantiation. Okay, and you can also call car details method. So how can you call a car details method? You can go for c dot car details method. Now if you call car details only, you'll get car details, but in here we have to also get a engine details method. Engine details method. So how can we go for? You have to see here. Listen carefully. C dot. That means it's from the car class. Car C. Now we have an object engine E. So E dot. C dot. E dot. So E dot means it will go to engine class. So engine E dot engine details method. E dot engine details method. Okay, that is from the car driver we are calling engine details method. Engine details method. So you can go for first C dot. C why? Because engine is mentioned inside the car. Engine is mentioned inside the car, and we are creating an instance for the car here. Okay, and here engine is dependent on car. So C dot E dot. There is no engineer. I mean, engine class here. Engine class is here. So C dot E dot engine details method. C dot E dot engine details method. Engine details method. Okay. So we can actually call it here C dot E dot engine details method. Now neatly you'll be getting, if we execute now, neatly you'll be getting all the elements here. So brand. Okay, so we have not okay, so which line is the brand here? Engine E. So okay, third one is the brand after HRP, after horsepower. Third one is the brand after horsepower. Okay, so we have left the brand empty. So I was asking you, so this much we have done actually, and I was asking you to tell any engine brand. Anyone? Any engine brand you know? So I have seen in vehicles like in bus and all, there is an L. Okay, so I think engine brand, not car brand. Engine brand Fiat. Okay, I don't know. I'm just taking as you told. Okay. So here we have taken all the details. Now let us execute here. Okay. Now surely you'll be getting. So we are getting all the details of car brand, price, color, model, capacity. I mean, for now for the engine, cubic capacity, horsepower, brand, as well as number of cylinders. Okay. So here, now when we have created an instance of the car class, when we have created an instance for the car class, now new car of all the details will be there. So control will go to car class, and it will give all the details. It will give all the details, and inside engine E, it will create an instance, new engine of data, and because engine is mentioned here, now control will go to the engine class, and all the data will be initialized here. All the data will be initialized. Okay, so this is how you will be getting the details of the car and engine, details of car and engine. So we have called car class first, then we have called engine details first. Okay, So this is how you achieve an has a relationship, and in that to initialize a dependent object, we have done a composition. We have done a, I mean, we have gone for composition, and here currently we have done early instantiation. We have done early instantiation. Okay. So hope you all understood. Everybody understood the concept. Early instantiation. Did you get it, everyone? Okay. What about others, guys? Everyone, let me know. Understood. Okay. Explain once. See here, engine. Yeah, we have created three classes. You can create in one class itself. You can just create car driver, and you can get car and engine class inside the same class. Okay, but different. As you have to take it as a different classes. So first class is, as you can see in the design here. Where is the design? Oh, as you can see in design is, first you have to create a dependent object. Since here, okay, diagram and okay, since here, listen carefully, everyone. Since here, since here, engine is dependent on car, the arrow mark is towards the car. Arrow mark is arrow mark is towards the car here, towards the car. Now, here, here. First, since the engine is dependent on car, since engine is dependent on car, we have to go for creating an object for engine. You have to go for creating an object for engine. So after creating an object for engine, then you have to create a car class. Then you have to create a car class. Okay. So after creating a car class, you have to mention engine inside the car. You have to mention engine inside the car. So why should we mention engine inside the car here? We have to mention engine inside the car to achieve has a relationship. To achieve has a relationship, we have to go for has a relationship, right? We have to achieve has a relationship, so we have to mention engine object inside the engine object inside the car object. Engine object inside the car object. Okay. So now that is why we have created engine first, then we have created a car. So we have created engine, details, car with details. Now when you are creating a car, since engine is dependent on car, you have to mention engine object inside car. Then now this is how you achieve has a relationship. Now we have to go for early instantiation. We have chosen early instantiation here, and early instantiation means while creating an object for the car. Now, if engine you are mentioning here in the attributes, I mean in the declaration statement, in the constructor declaration statement, if you are mentioning the dependent object and using initializer, if you're initializing it, so you can call this as early instantiation, and we also have a method that is car details method. Next, we'll go for the car driver class. In the car driver class, we have created an instance for the car. So after neatly creating an instance for the car, it will not end there. At the end, we have given engine eno. Okay, we have created engine eno. So after we have created, we have gone for engine e. So that is why. So we have to go for creating an instance for the car. I mean, sorry, instance for the engine. So we have to create an instance for the engine here. We have to create an instance for the engine. Why? Because dependent object engine we have mentioned inside the car class in the constructor declaration. We have mentioned inside the constructor declaration here. So just a minute. So we have gone and we have created here engine E here we have mentioned here. So that is why when you are creating an object for the car, you have to by default create an engine object. You have to create an engine object. Okay. And now when you're creating an object here, okay, so you will have to create a car class. Now while creating car class constructor, I mean constructor call statement here, you have to cover all the attributes. So car details you have given beyond w, this all the data will be given. So control goes to car and all the data will be initialized. All the data will be initialized in this attributes. In these attributes it will be initialized. Now here whatever in the place of e, we have given instance, new instance for the class engine. We have created a new instance for the class engine. We have created new instance for class engine. Okay, new instance for the class engine we have created. Now after that, after that, now we have initialized using initializer. This dot e is equal to e. That means now we have to create an initialization for a engine object. So inside the class engine now, so whatever the initialization we have done, it was stored in variable e, and through that we have called this constructor. And all the loading and everything constructor did. Now initialization of engine objects will be done. Initialization of engine objects is done. Okay, so this is how we have achieved your early instantiation and c dot car details and c dot engine details we have got. C dot car details means inside same class is there, inside car class only, so we'll call easily that is c dot car details. But engine details in engine class, so what we have to do, we have to go from here, we have to go for car c dot engine e dot car c dot engine e dot engine details method, engine details method, c dot e dot engine details method. So this is how we can achieve your has a relationship and level of dependency is composition, and we have achieved a early instantiation here. We have achieved a early instantiation. Okay. So I hope now everybody is completed. Is this OOPS concept? Yes, of course. This is OOPS concept. This comes in OOPS only. So we have done with encapsulation. Next, we have to go for inheritance. To understand inheritance, first you have to learn about this relationship. Okay, everybody? Guys, others who have not understood, everybody understood? Okay, guys. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, guys. So design is done. Okay, now we have seen. Okay, guys. Now design is done. Now we shall go for the next design here. Okay, so we shall take Okay, so has a we have okay, early instantiation we have done. So let us go for late here. We will take a class called as we shall take mobile class, and we shall go for earphone class. So now you guys tell me whom which is dependent on whom. Okay, so we'll go for mobile. We shall go for earphone. Shall go for earphone. Okay. Now you guys tell me which is dependent on whom. Who is dependent on whom? Earphone is dependent on mobile. Okay, earphone is dependent on mobile. Okay. So as a design, what we can give here? Earphone is dependent on mobile. So the arrow mark should be towards the mobile. Okay. Excuse me. Arrow mark should be towards the mobile. Shall take class earphone here. Once again. Okay, earphone is dependent on mobile here. So we shall take the first earphone details. So earphone will have a brand. Okay, earphone will have a brand. Earphone will have a price, and earphone will have a color. And now coming to mobile, mobile we can take as okay, we will take brand of the mobile, and we will take price of the mobile, and here we shall go for functions. We shall go for functions. So what all tasks we can do using mobile and earphone? Mobile and earphone. So the task we can do using mobile and earphone is we can insert earphone into the mobile. Insert earphone. We can insert earphone into the mobile. Yes. And we can remove earphone. We can remove earphone. Yes. And we can go for earphone details. Earphone details inside a mobile. Right. And okay, this much is enough. Now here we are going for has a relationship. We are going for has a relationship only. Has a relationship only. And here the level of dependency is aggregation. Let us write it little neatly. Okay, so level of dependency is aggregation. Aggregation means two objects are dependent on each other. There is a dependency between two objects, but they can live without each other. Now you guys tell me, can a earphone be without a mobile? Can a earphone be without a mobile? Okay. Okay, see, mobile also can survive without earphone. Earphone also can survive without mobile. Earphone also can, they are dependent. They are dependent, yes, it is true. But they can survive without each other. They can survive without each other. So that is why we have taken a level of dependency is aggregation. Now in here we will also do late instantiation. Okay, in that program we have done early instantiation, and this program will go for late or lazy instantiation. Late or lazy instantiation. Okay, now first let me go for the do for the programs. In the programs, while we're doing only, we will understand what is lazy or late instantiation. Okay, so first let us create a um class earphone, because first we have to go once again, first we have to go for dependent object first, because earphone is dependent on mobile. So earphone we have to create first. Okay, yes Imanshu. Yes Prithvi, you can take it as a real time example. Yes Imanshu, tell me question here. Okay, a car is dependent on the engine and engine is also depends on a car. Then why we take arrow towards a car as they both are depends on each other? Um, you can take a car is also dependent on engine. You can take interchange. You can interchange also. You can do, because since they both are dependent on each other. They both are dependent on each other. Okay, now you tell me, for car to live, do we need an engine? For a car to live, do we need an engine? Okay, what if we have an engine but car is not moving? What if we have a engine and car is not moving? Do we still need engine? Do we still need engine? No. So car can be there. Okay. So many people, like they have made car as their homes. Like you can take a car, and yes, engine is also dependent. But what I'm telling is, if you want to go for engine, okay, engine is very useful. Engine should be placed inside the car only. Like any vehicle you take, engine should be presented inside that vehicle. So your car is not dependent on engine, and engine is dependent on car. So that is why we have taken, if we are seeing both are dependent, but currently here in these situations we can go for car is, engine is dependent on the car. Okay, so engine is placed inside the car. Okay, so that is why we can tell engine is dependent on car. So that is why we'll be going for creation of object for the engine first, because engine is dependent. No, since engine is dependent on car, here engine can be present. Engine without car also it can survive, but for running the engine we have to first place the engine inside the car. Inside engine will not place car, but inside car will place engine. So that is the logic we have taken here. Okay, so yes Imanshu, got it. So here you can take both also. Okay, okay man. So okay, so here you can real time example as a any example you can take, but real time here for your has a relationship you can go for this. And here you are for an late or lazy instantiation, you can go for this example. Okay, mobile and earphone. So first what we shall do is, here we shall go for object creation for the dependent object. See, as you can see here, the arrow mark is towards the mobile class. Arrow mark is towards the mobile class. So since it is towards the mobile class, we have to first create an engine object. Then we can, earphone object. Then we can go for mobile. Okay, let us take a snap first for this. So here you have mobile and earphone. Okay, we'll be doing as a relationship here, and we'll also go for later lazy instantiation. Later lazy instantiation. Okay. So first we shall create a class earphone. So earphone. Now class earphone we have created. Earphone will have a brand and earphone will have a price and earphone will have a color and we can have a constructor for earphone. Earphone can go for brand, price and color. Now we shall initialize this dot brand is equal to brand and this dot price is equal to price and this dot color is equal to color. Okay, so next we'll go for earphone details method. So public void. So currently what we are seeing, as we are seeing in the design, we have not mentioned earphone details in here. Earphone details we have not mentioned here, we have mentioned in the mobile. So let us say this class. That's all about your earphone. That's all about your class earphone. Done. Let us go for your class mobile. So class mobile here. Mobile. Class mobile and mobile also has an attribute that is string brand and you can go for double price double price. Okay, now we shall go for, okay, first we have to do has a relationship. Has a relationship is earphone dependent on mobile, so we have to go for earphone object presented inside the mobile. Earphone object presented inside a mobile, then we have to, I mean here, let me mention here we have achieved has a relationship. We have achieved has a relationship. We have achieved has a relationship. Okay, next, after this, now we shall go for late late or lazy lazy instantiation. Late or lazy instantiation. So just tell me what lazy people do. What lazy people like you and me do, what they will do. Lazy people, see, usually people who are like no, who is not lazy, what they'll do initially, they will do whatever the task given on time. Okay, but lazy people like you and me, what they will do, they will postpone, right? They'll postpone. So postponing means what, we can do it later. Oh, okay, it's very simple. We know it's not simple, but still we will tell, okay, it's so simple, we will do it later. What we have done, postpone, and we'll think whenever we want we will do it. Whenever we want we will do it. That is what we call it as a lazy. And because of the laziness we are delaying, or we are the I mean the task whatever we have done, no, it is like it's delaying and it is late. That is what we call it as a late or lazy instantiation. Late or lazy instantiation. Now how to achieve it? How to achieve it? Very simple, very simple here. So you can achieve later lazy instantiation. You can achieve later lazy instantiation here. Okay, let me tell you how. So first you have to create a mobile constructor, and you can go for string brand and double price. Now we shall initialize this dot brand is equal to brand. Next, this dot price is equal to price. Okay, now listen carefully. We didn't mention in earphone object here. We didn't mention earphone object here in the mobile. We have not mentioned earphone object. So by not mentioning earphone object in the constructor, we are avoiding early instantiation. That means we are achieving later lazy instantiation. By not mentioning dependent object inside the constructor and not initializing it, we have gone for we have gone for we have gone for later lazy instantiation. Now, but how to create, see, engine is dependent. Okay, engine is dependent. Now, how shall we create an instance for this earphone? How can we create an instance for this earphone? There is a way you can do it. That is data less instantiation. Now, what we can do it? We have to initialize this earphone. So, what we have to go for here? We have to go for a method that is public public void insert earphone method. Insert earphone method, and in the attributes, one second, here earphone v which I'll mention. Why we are doing like this? See, while creating an object for the mobile, here by default engine object, I mean earphone object also gets created if you are going for early instantiation. But since we are doing late instantiation, we are not mentioning earphone inside the constructor here, and we are not using initializer to initialize it. So like this, you are avoiding early instantiation. And now step one, don't mention dependent object inside constructor and not initialize using initializer. Next, here step two, we shall go for creating a method, and in the method formal arguments, in the place of formal arguments, you can mention the dependent object. In the place of formal arguments in the method, in the place of formal arguments, we can go for mentioning the dependent object. Dependent object should be mentioned inside in the place of formal arguments. You can create a method, and here you can mention the arguments, formal arguments. Okay, that is in the place of formal arguments, we are mentioning the dependent object. We are mentioning a dependent object. Okay, next. Now you guys tell me one thing. Now you take a mobile one side, you take an earphone plug one side. Now, in case you don't have any earphone inserted into mobile, then you can insert a earphone into the mobile, right? In case if you have already inserted earphone into the mobile, can you insert second time? Can you insert earphone second time? Is it even possible? No, right? Yes. That is what here. Before inserting earphone, yes, guys. Before inserting earphone here, we have to go for checking if the earphone is there or not. We have to check if earphone is there or not. Before inserting earphone into the mobile, we have to first check if already one earphone is inserted or not. So that that verification and validation will be doing in this method, insert earphone. And we have seen in encapsulation, verification and validation can be done using methods I told you. Validation, verification, okay, we will do. But we have also done initialization in the method there, and here, I mean getter and setter method we have created, and here in encapsulation concept also will be used here. That is, here we will be doing a validation and verification. We don't use getter setter methods here. Getter setter method will not use here, but validation verification will be done here. Okay, listen carefully. This is how you will be doing validation and verification separately. Here we are doing, but in the further concepts you will be joining both. Encapsulation has a is a relationship, both everything will join and will do a design. But currently we are doing only validation and verification here. We are not creating getter and setter. We are going for validation and verification. Okay. No, it's not that. It's not that we have to do validation and verification in a late instantiation only. No, we can do in early instantiation also. But here, in late instantiation, it's more easy to do. If you go for early instantiation here, see engine you are mentioning directly inside constructor. Directly inside constructor you are mentioning, and there is no place for you to mention the validation and verification. There is no chance. There is no chance to mention a validation and verification in case if you're going for early instantiation. Where is this? Yeah. In case if you're going for early instantiation, see, there is no place. Here only you'll mention how you'll validate here. How can you validate here? You can't. So that is why usually verification and validation you can do using a method. Here car details, you can go for validation and verification here also. Here also you can go for validation and verification. That is, you can go for if car is present, you can go for car details. And next, if you want to go for engine details, you can go for if engine is present, you can go for engine details, or tell engine is not present. Here also you can go for validation and verification. Okay, but for creating objects, for creating object, we will be going for late instantiation. Here now earphone object should be created, right? That means earphone should be inserted into mobile. First of all, we'll be checking if earphone object is there or not. So guys, how can we check if earphone object is there or not? Got it? Okay, Samiksha. Okay, so how can we check if earphone object is there or not? Okay, earphone is not there. Now, how can we create a condition for this? We have to check if earphone is not there. Yes, guys, how can we check if earphone is not there? We have to go for if. Now, this this dot e is one second. This dot e is equal to null. So what do you mean when an object is when engine or I mean earphone object is equal to null? What do you mean? What do you mean when this dot e is equal to null? This dot e is equal to null means there is no earphone object inserted into the mobile. There is yes, Samiksha. It's a decision statement. Yes. So when there is no earphone object. There is no earphone object inserted into the mobile. Yes, there is no earphone present. Now, when there is no earphone present, you guys tell me, can we insert earphone into the mobile now? See, currently in this condition, we have seen that earphone object is not there. That means earphone object has not been inserted into the mobile. Now, can we create an earphone object and insert into the mobile? Can we insert an earphone into the mobile now when there is no earphone inserted? Yes, we can do it. Yes. So now what we'll do, since there is no object, there is no instance for earphone, now we'll create an earphone object that is this dot e is equal to e. What we have done here, we have created earphone object and by default we have also inserted. By default we have also inserted. So we will tell now earphone is earphone earphone is inserted. Earphone is earphone is inserted. So this dot is equal to null. So this dot is equal to e means we are creating an object for the earphone and we are also inserting it into the mobile. See, inserting is directly we are present inside mobile only. Okay, insert earphone is we are just creating an object and by default it will be inserted. Okay, so we can tell earphone is inserted into mobile. Earphone is inserted into the mobile. So what if this condition is false? What if this condition is false? So when this condition is false, we can go for else block and we can tell earphone already exists, or we can tell earphone is already inserted. So we can tell earphone is earphone is already inserted. In the earphone is already inserted or present, whatever you want, we can take. So here what we have done for inserting an earphone method, we have achieved late instantiation. That means dependent object we have mentioned inside a method declaration statement. We have mentioned inside a method declaration statement wherein you have a object in the formal arguments. In the place of formal arguments, you can have a dependent object. You can have a dependent object. Okay, next. So we are checking if there is an object or not. Validation and verification we are doing. So if validation we are doing here. Now this dot is equal to null, which means if there is no earphone, you will create an earphone and you will insert into the mobile and you will tell earphone is inserted. Earphone is inserted. But what if this is wrong? What if the condition is wrong in if? Control goes to else. Control goes to else. And in the else, you can tell that earphone is already inserted. Why? Why this statement will become wrong? This will become wrong if already earphone is inserted. If already earphone is present, if already earphone object is present, already if it is inserted into the mobile, this condition will become wrong. This condition will become wrong. So when it becomes wrong, we will come to else and we will tell earphone is already inserted. You can go for earphone already exist, or earphone is there, or earphone is existing already. Okay, whichever you want, you can go for. So here we can tell earphone is already inserted or earphone already exists. Okay, so this is how we will be inserting earphone. This is how we will be inserting a earphone. Okay, so insert earphone method is done. Now let us go for remove earphone method. Let us go for remove earphone method. So public void remove earphone method. So for removing earphone method, you don't have to take anything. Okay, just you have to check if earphone is there or not. You don't have to give anything in arguments. You have to go for checking if there is an object or not. If this dot e is if this dot e is equal to null, which means there is no earphone object. Which means there is no earphone object. So when there is no earphone object, we will tell earphone doesn't exist. Earphone doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Okay, so what is this? What is this? When there is no earphone, when there is no earphone object, we have to tell earphone doesn't exist or earphone not present. In normal words, earphone is not there. Okay, so this is what will happen if there is no earphone. But if there is an earphone inserted, if there is an earphone inserted, we shall go for removing it. Now how can we remove an object? Yes, guys, tell me, anyone. How can we remove an object? Already earphone object is there, earphone E is there. Now how can we remove the object here? How can we remove? Any idea? How can we remove, guys? Any idea do you have? Reinitialization. Yes, reinitialization is correct. Correct. By inserting what? Not by inserting, by reinitializing. To reinitializing to what? Reinitializing to what? Be quick. Guys, just a minute. Yes, Sushant, correct. So by reinitializing to not zero, because this is an object. This is an object. You can remove an object by nullifying it. So this dot e is equal to null. Understand the difference between equal to and equals. Double equal to and equals, you have to understand. Equal to comparing LHS and RHS. Here equals to is, we are storing null inside the variable e. That means for the variable e, earphone e, we are initializing with a null. We are initializing with a null here. Okay. So what happened here? Yes, what happened here? So when we are going for remove earphone method here, if this dot e is equal to null, which means there is no earphone. Now, when there is no earphone, we don't have anything to remove here. When earphone only is not inserted into the mobile, from where whom we will remove, right? We don't have anyone to remove. So control becomes false in case earphone is already inserted or earphone is already present. Now control comes to yes, and we are going for this dot e is equal to null. Means we are nullifying a object. We are nullifying a object and we will tell earphone is removed. We will tell earphone is removed. Earphone is removed. Okay, and this is about your remove earphone method. Now let us go for the last method here, that is a earphone details method. So public void earphone, okay, earphone details method. Earphone details method. So this is your earphone details method, and here And here in the earphone details, see, now you guys tell me, now if earphone is present, we can show earphone details. If there is no earphone, can we show the details of an earphone? If there is no earphone, can you show the details of an earphone? No, yes. So here the same logic we are using. Okay, everything is related to our current life. Okay, in real life, what are the tasks we are doing? Same thing. So earphone details. First, you have to check if earphone is present or not. First, you have to check if earphone is present or not. That is, if this this dot e is equal to null, which means there is no earphone object. When there is no earphone object, you have to tell earphone doesn't exist. Earphone doesn't exist. Now in case the condition is wrong, control comes to else, which means earphone is already present, and we shall go for details of it by println statement. And now we can go for calling every attribute. See, we can call every attribute of a engine, sorry, earphone. Okay, we can call every attribute of an earphone. So how can we call it? Earphone members we have to access. Earphone members we have to access. So you can go for e dot brand, e dot brand, e dot price, e dot color, e dot brand, e dot price, e dot color. So here we shall go for printing, calling them, printing them, because they are variables. Unless you print, it will not be shown. So e dot brand. Next, we'll be going for e dot price, and we'll be going for e dot color. Okay. So what we are doing here? We are showing the details of earphone. We are showing the details of earphone. So we shall go for here and we'll tell earphone, or we'll go for earphone brand. Okay, we shall make an idea here. We shall go for one statement here. That is, earphone details are earphone details are below, all you'll be getting brand, price, and color. Brand, go for price, we shall go for color. Brand, price, and color. So earphone we have done. Okay, next. Okay, so here, as you can see here, we are done with the mobile class. We are done with the class mobile. We are done with class mobile. So in the class mobile, what all we have done here? We have taken the attributes of mobile and earphone. We have created an instance for earphone here, and in the design, I think we have no mobile details method, but it's okay. Now listen carefully. Brand we have, price we have, and here we have an earphone e presented here in the place of variables, because earphone is dependent on mobile. We have started doing lazy or late instantiation, and we have gone for inserting earphone method. Insert earphone method. If there is no earphone, we will be creating and inserting into the mobile. Then we will tell earphone is inserted. If there is a earphone, we will tell earphone is already inserted. You don't have to insert again. Now going for remove earphone. If earphone is not there, we will tell earphone doesn't exist. If earphone is there, control comes to else, then we will nullify it. By nullifying it, we are removing a object, that is earphone. We are removing that earphone object. Okay. So after removing, we will tell earphone is removed. Earphone is removed. Okay. So, and after that, here in earphone details method, if there is no earphone, we will tell earphone doesn't exist. And if there is an earphone, we will be going for earphone details are here. You're going for earphone details. Okay. So this is how we have gone for the class mobile. Now, okay, hope you all have understood. Everybody understood the mobile class? Has everybody understood mobile class? Okay. So we shall go for mobile driver. No, mama. What happened, Preeti? Where you didn't understand? Yes, tell me. Unmute yourself. Okay, unmute yourself. Give an order request. No, we shall know where you have not understood. Okay, last else block. Okay, fine. See here, listen carefully. In the mobile, see if there is no object, no earphone object. When there is no earphone object, we will tell earphone doesn't exist. But when there is an earphone, this condition will become false. This condition will become false when there is an earphone. Address will not be null, right? An object is there means address surely it will not be null. That time this condition will become wrong or condition will become false. Now here, if the condition goes to else, which means there is an earphone object. When there is an earphone object, we are showing the details of it. When the control comes to else, which means there is an earphone object. When there is no earphone object, control comes to if, and you'll tell earphone doesn't exist. When there is an earphone object, okay, when there is an earphone object, then we will go for showing the details of an earphone, which means, see, if there is an earphone, you will show the details. If there is no earphone, we will tell earphone doesn't exist. The same thing. If earphone doesn't exist here, okay, there will be null. So we'll tell earphone doesn't exist. But when it is coming to else block, when it is coming to else block, which means there is an earphone object. There is an earphone object, and we are showing the details of it below. Okay, below we are showing the details of that earphone object. Okay. So this is about a earphone details method. Understood? Okay. Preeti, tell me where in earphone class? What doubt you have? In earphone class or in mobile class? Preeti, in earphone. Earphone is a class. We have an attribute and we have a constructor and we have initialized the attributes of the earphone class. That's all about earphone. Yes, we will use it here. We will use it here. Yeah, we shall use the scanner class here. That's all, Preeti. That's all about your earphone. I hope you understood mobile. Mobile you understood, right? Preeti, got it? Okay. So what is this, ma'am? Where we give name brand? Mobile, ah? Wait, wait, wait. Don't be a hurry. Wait a second. Mobile. Okay, fine. Now we will go for mobile driver. Okay, you'll understand slowly. Don't worry about that. See, here we shall go for an input from user. So import java dot util dot scanner class. And in the mobile driver, we shall go for a main method and we shall create an object or an instance for the scanner class. Scanner SE is equal to new scanner of system dot in. System dot in. Now after this, now we shall go for creating an object for mobile. Okay, we shall create an object for mobile and we shall take that data also from user. So mobile, if you see here, now we shall take a brand and price of the mobile from the user. We will take here. So we shall go for enter mobile brand. So brand we will take in a string brand, that is mobile brand. No, so we will go for M brand. M brand is equal to se dot next method. Next we shall go for the price of the mobile. So we will take a, we'll ask user to enter the price of mobile. So we shall go for double price is equal to M price, mobile price is equal to se dot next double. So what are we doing here? We are taking two input from user. Okay, we are taking two input from user. The inputs are brand and the price for the mobile. We have taken it. Now we have to create an instance for the class mobile. You have to create an instance for the class mobile. So how? Mobile m is equal to new mobile of. We'll be going for attributes m brand, comma m price. M price. Done. Done and dusted. Can you see mobile instance here? Mobile instance. We have taken two input from user here and we have mentioned in the constructor call statement, that is instance. While creating an instance, we have taken m brand and m price and we have passed here. Okay. So this is about your object creation for mobile. Okay. Mobile, yes, it is there. We have created an instance. Now here main thing is earphone inserted or not, earphone present, if it is inserted or not, earphone details. So here we are concentrating on dependent object. Dependent object we are concentrating. Okay. So now what we will do here, we shall give user an options, that is insert the earphone, remove the earphone, print earphone details. Okay. Guys, so we shall complete this design. It will just take for 5 minutes more. Okay. I want you guys to stay till 9:05. Okay, 9:05. Just 5 minutes more. Be here because we have started class half an hour late because of the whatever has happened. Okay. So 5 minutes more. You stay here. So here we have taken in, we have created an instance for the class mobile. Now we shall give an options for the user, that is to insert mobile, insert earphone, remove earphone, print earphone details. So what we'll do here, we have to give these options to the user and they have to be repeated. It's not like only one time you have to go for, one time you have to access. No, it has to be repeated again and again. It has to be repeated again and again. So we'll go for boolean exit variable is equal to true and we'll take a while loop and have an exit variable in. So here we shall give the options for the user, that is we'll go for enter your choice, and the first option we can give as insert earphone. Second option we shall go for remove earphone. Third option we can go for earphone details. Earphone details method. And last option, if user wants to exit the application, can exit. Okay. So these are the options we have given. So we have given options in the form of 1, 2, 3. So we have given in 1, 2, 3 format. So we will go for int type input from user. Int choice variable is equal to se dot next int method. Now we shall go for the best looping statement, that is a switch of choice. Okay, this is the best way to have an element or any option to be executed once with all the conditions, that is a switch. So we shall go for case 1. So case 1, when you are talking about, here we are inserting an earphone. We are inserting a earphone here. So here we are inserting earphone. Now when we are inserting earphone here, so we have to take all the input from user. We have to take all the Okay, we have to take all the input from user. So inserting earphone, what all the details we need? We need earphone. We need earphone brand. So we'll go for enter earphone brand. Okay, enter earphone brand. So next brand we will take it as a string. String is equal to brand is equal to sc dot next method. Next we shall ask user. We shall ask user enter the price of earphone. So price we shall go for int because earphones are not that costly. So we'll go for int. Price is equal to sc dot next method. Now next one, last one we'll go for okay price over brand over price over then color. We'll go for enter the color of earphone. So earphone color we shall go for string color is equal to sc dot next sc dot next method. One second, yeah. So ac dot next method. You can go for ac dot next method. Now listen carefully. Listen carefully. Here in the driver class, now we have to call insert earphone method. We have to call insert earphone method. Where is that method? It is in the mobile class. It is in the mobile class. So with the help of the mobile object reference, with the help of the mobile object reference, see we have created an instance for the mobile outside here. Yes, with the help of this mobile object reference, we can call the insert earphone method. M dot insert earphone method. M dot insert earphone method. Now, as you can see, we have mentioned the earphone e inside our method declaration here in the place of formal arguments. We have mentioned earphone e. So here, what we shall do is now we shall create an instance for the earphone here. New earphone of we have taken brand, price, and color. New earphone of brand, price, and color. This is how you can insert an earphone. Okay. Now let us go for a break. After every case, you need to have a break. Next case 2. Case 2 is remove earphone. We just go for m dot remove earphone method. Done. That's it. Go for a break. Case 3. Case 3 is earphone details. So we shall go for m dot earphone details method. Okay, so break. Case 4. So case 4, as we can see here, case 4 we have gone for exit. Okay, so we have gone for exit here. So exit variable, if you want to exit the application, you can reinitialize a variable to false, and we shall tell thank you. Okay, after that we shall give a break here. Next we shall go for a default. When none of the cases are executed, when user have not given any proper options which he has not chosen from the given option, so here default will be executed. Whenever user doesn't give the options which we have shown, you will be getting like this. Okay, now listen carefully. Listen to the output. See the output. Listen to the output. You see and understand. If you understood the output, you understood the concept. So listen carefully. Okay, we shall go for okay. So now here everyone, now mobile brand we will mention. Okay, mobile brand. So we'll go for Nokia. Price of the mobile shall go for 15,000. Now mobile brand price we have got, and we have created an instance for the mobile. Done. Now we shall go for inserting earphone, removing earphone details, and exit. Insert, remove earphone details, and exit. So here let us give a wrong option. Any wrong option we shall give 5. What are we getting? Invalid choice. Invalid choice. Okay, now let us go for removing earphone. Listen carefully. Option number 2 we are going for, that is remove earphone. First of all, to remove earphone, earphone should be there. No, what is it showing? Earphone doesn't exist. Earphone is not existing. When earphone doesn't exist, when earphone doesn't exist here, how can you remove an earphone, right? So that is why before inserting an earphone, if you try to remove earphone, you'll be getting a earphone doesn't exist. Now we shall go for earphone details. See, have we created any earphone now? No, we have not inserted any earphone. We have not created any earphone object. So you're getting earphone doesn't exist. Earphone doesn't exist. And here now, lastly, let us go for insert earphone. Earphone brand, we can go for boat. Price of the earphone will go for 1500. Color of the earphone we shall go for black. And now, can you see here? You got a statement here. Earphone is inserted. Earphone inserted. You got it. Yes, it has been taking all the details. That is brand, earphone price, and color. Brand, price, and color has been taken. After taking, we are telling earphone is inserted. Earphone is inserted. Now, after inserting earphone. Now, after inserting earphone. Now, we will go for earphone details. So, can you see the earphone details here after inserting earphone? Can you see the earphone details? Earphone details are brand port, price 1500 and color is black. Color black. Now we shall go for removing earphone. Removing earphone, earphone is removed. If there is a earphone inserted, only we have removed earphone. If there is an earphone inserted, then we have removed earphone. Okay. So earphone is removed. Now again, if you go for earphone details, you will not get. Why? Because we have removed the earphone here. We have removed the earphone here. And in case you want to exit, you can tell you'll be hitting thank you and you'll be taken out of the application. So currently now you're out of the driver class. You're out of this driver mobile driver class. Okay. So this is how you'll be achieving your late or lazy instantiation. Late or lazy instantiation. I hope everybody has understood. Have you understood the driver class, everyone? The output also? Understood, Apriti. That's good. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, any doubts for today? Anywhere, any doubts? If you have, you can let me know. Okay, understood. That's a good thing. It's a very, really good thing. Okay, any doubts you have for today, guys? Activity. I'll be sending you a PDF. In that PDF, you'll be having an activity. Okay, try all those. Okay, try them. And here you can create your own activities. Relate. Okay, relate to the elements. Relate to the elements in real life. Take what all the elements. See, if I can give you an example and I will tell you to do, but there will be no creativity for you. Improve a creativity. Find yourself a creative example, relative example. Okay, what is the use of extents? When you're inheriting a class into, I mean, when you're inheriting one class into another class, inside child, in the class declaration, you will be mentioning a extends keyword indicating that you're inheriting a parent class inside child class. Yes, Saramu, got it? When will we have our oral mark? That we will decide. We will decide that maybe Saturday. You might have your oral mock on Saturday, so be prepared, everyone. Okay. Okay, guys. Yes, Sairami, you got it? Preeti, yes. Ma'am, the while loop part. Okay, what doubt you have in the while loop part here? What doubt you have here? Can you explain again? Okay, sure. See, while loop, why we are going for while loop is we are taking exit variable. See, if you want to take an input from user, or if you want to allow your user to have an application like uh, see, if you're going for Paytm, do they ask your permission to make you enter into the Paytm any application you take? See, login details is needed, but do they ask your permission to take you into the application? Leave login details. Login is it's mandatory. After you log in, you save password directly. You will enter into the application. For entering into the application, now do they need your permission? I mean, do you need their permission? No, right? So you don't need. So we have taken, that is why we have taken by default true here. We have any variable name we can take. Usually the name here taken is a flag. The name taken here is a flag. So we don't need a flag here. We just take an exit variable to make you understand that we can exit from here. So exit variable is true and we have made the while loop as true. While loop by default, you are making any loop by default as true, that loop will execute infinite times. That loop will execute infinite times. So when it executes infinite times, you will be getting these options infinite times. Infinite times you'll be getting these options until you choose exit. Option number 4, if you choose, that time exit variable will be initialized to false. And when you are going for false here, any loop which has a condition false, surely it will exit the loop. It will exit the loop. Okay. So this is the logic. We have given the details. When the while loop is true, okay, while exit variable is true, everything will execute. Everything will execute. But when coming to exit variable, here if you are making it as a false, it will exit from the while loop. Okay. So this is about your while loop. Yes, yeah. Yes, yes, who are asked? Understood, Sushant? Sushant only asked, huh? Okay, understood, man. Okay. Okay, guys, that's all for today. And you can leave the class. The design and the programs will be sent to you, okay, in some time. Okay, have your food nicely and go through the notes and programs. Create yourself a different designs. Have a creativity. And the PDF which I sent also contains your designs. Okay, it might contain, I think. If it is not containing, then make sure you do create some designs. Okay. So that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's class. Have a great evening and night. Take care. Bye bye. Good night.